vocês. Eu tô aqui pra pedir pra vocês se inscreverem no meu... me seguir lá no Instagram, beleza? Kauã, underline Vinícius, YT, beleza? Beleza? Vamos aqui. Não, já compartilho pra todo mundo, tá? Vamos chegar aqui encontros imediatos, tá? Pera aí.
Você quer popô?
Popó? Não sei.
Bom, 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 bom. Bom, 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 bom. Bom, bom, bom. Bom, bom, bom. Bom, bom, bom. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Go, go.
Tá filme com qualidade. E aí, Alvo? Só pra mim ter certeza, se é lá do grupo, né? Deu 28. Bora, mano. Só manda seu nick aí que eu te adiciono. Oi. Tá, peraí, já volto. Pera aí. Uau. Nossa, eu mandei seu nick, mano. Oi! Lorena! Voltei. E aí, Kauã Rizal Dutra. Mano, vou te adicionar aí. Voltei. E aí, Kauã Rizal Dutra. Macro. Vocês. E aí, Kauã Rizal Dutra. Manda aí. Manda seu nick aí, Alfa. Que daí joga um squad nós três. Manda seu nick aí. Ou arena, que faz. Ó, mandei aí. Ó, acho que... Manda o link de vocês na Epic, tá? Da Epic, beleza? Oxi, tá mandando que não foi encontrado, mano. Ainda vocês me adicionar aí, Kauã 08 na Epic. Ainda vocês me adicionar aí, Kauã 08 na Epic. Olha o pé do bicho. Oxi, não tá aparecendo nem na PSN. Então, Alfa, não tá encontrando. Ah. Oi. Tá, peraí. Tá, vou mandar aí. Eu vou ficar me chamando. Mr. Bananinha. Ah, mano, não tá encontrando. E tá tudo minúsculo. Então, vê se você escreveu certo o seu nick. Mano, não se esquece de se inscrever e deixar o like, tá? Eu perdi pra tudo. Tudo. Esse aqui, o seu? Ó, porque aqui tem um Murilo, meu amigo, Muriel, então meu canal. Esse mago aqui. Isso, né? Manda de novo. Você mandou pro Kauã 08, né? Como assim? Não, meu nome no PS é Kauã 2911. Meu nome na época é Kauã 08. Tudo minúsculo e tudo junto. Como assim? Não, meu nome no PS é Kauã 2911. Meu nome na época é Kauã 08. É algum desses? É algum desses? Conseguiu, Alfa? Vou jogando uma por enquanto, beleza? Então, só que aqui não fica mostrando que tipo eu recebi a solicitação.
Pega esse chapéu aqui, seu. Onde está o seu aqui?
Do horizonte. Chapéu do horizonte.
Pega esse chapéu do chão. Como você vai fazer?
Doido. Aqui fica a solicitação. É esse? Vou dar um salaço. Não, os caras ficam me travando. Botei os quadros sozinho. Botei os quadros sozinho. Eu vou aceitar esse aqui. Eu aceitei, certo? Porque não mostra, sabe, que você mandou solicitação. Não dá pra saber. Misericórdia. Mano, vou tentar te mandar a solicitação. Mr. Bananinha top, né? É esse seu nick. Deixa eu ver. Mr. Bananinha top. Não tem nada antes. Misericórdia. Não é, Mita? Ó, tô no M. Ó, tem M de início. Ó, vou te mostrar todos os M que tem. Ó, tem o M Vinícius, Mago, Marcelo, Marcosa. Ó, não mostra aqui, mano. É esse seu nick, né? Ó, você me mandou convite, certo? Eu vou nos mais recentes. Ó. Eu vou nos recentes. Olha, não tem Mr. Bananinha. Olha. Mãe, bugou tudo aqui. Peraí, eu vou... Peraí. ver se agora vai. Você tem aqui. Esse é o seu nick mesmo, né? Mr. Bananinha Top, certo? Quer subir aqui? Tá.
Quer viver?
Quer subir? Ó, Mr. Bananinha Top não encontrado. Ó, vou mudar de novo.
Capupá.
Pede lá pra mamãe.
Capupá. Capupá.
Você quer papá?
Não.
Você quer fazer o papá?
É. Capacê, papá. Capacê, papá.
Vai o extra. Oh, mano, não tem. Que merda, tio. Que merda, mano. Ó, eu vou mandar. Peraí, mano. Que grama é essa, tio? Breno, deixa eu ver aqui. Coloca ali então. Ó, era um mix.
Não.
Tá, só deixa eu ver um negócio. Não! Tá fazendo muita bagunça. Tio, parece que não existe o seu usuário. o seu, vamos pegar o seu. Não, Mano, minha irmã pegou meu celular, não vai ter como ver as mensagens. Tenta Kauã 2911. Chamar do seu pé.
chegar. Estoy en una partida.
Deixa eu ver. Tá caindo um cara. Outro é 3. É, não pode mudar, né? Porque foi 4 contra 1 e o cara matou. Silêncio. fosse. Procura aqui, mano.
Deixa eu ver o que você pegou aí. Não pode abrir. Apertou dois. Viu? Não abre.
Pelo amor. Mano, existe de boa, só pra me saber, porque o cara puxou a combate e pra finalizar depois ele pegou a outra. Agora foi, mano? Ah, tô. Foi o convite que eu mandei? Dia 27. Então, deixa eu ver. Weeks, né? Primeiro vamos ver, mister. Aqui, ó. Vem. Não tem nada no M, então vamos ver o Wix. Tio do céu, o que acontece, mano? Ah, minúsculo, tá. Ó, já tentei, ó. Não vai, mano. E aparece maiúsculo, mano. Pelo amor. Eu quero minúsculo. Minúsculo. Não é possível. Não. Mano, não é possível isso. Não, você tem o Coringa? Você tem o Coringa? Tá. Não sei onde fica isso. Onde que fica? É configurações, né? Não, aqui não, aqui. Ah, tá. Esse aqui, né? É, vai. Tá, então é aquele ali, né? É aquele ali. Esse aqui, ó. Que eu deixei ligado, esse aqui, né? Importar amigos automaticamente. Tá. Vai, manda convite aí. Ele vai aceitar. Mano, eu tô pensativo, mas eu tô observando. Ó, fecha o olho. Tá. Como assim não foi? Você tá com o negócio de receber convite automático? Aceitar? Posso tomar? Brigadeira. Brigadeira! Ah, entendi. Briga. Eu pensei que era brigadeiro. Interessante. Você mandou convite, Mr. Bananinha? Que? Não foi? Lá no final. Não foi que vai? The fuck, mano. Ah, me manda. Eu vou mandar no Mr. Bananinha Top, tá? Tem maiúsculo. Não é possível! Não é possível! Mano, não, dá um soco nessa parede. Isso aqui daí. Ah, a parede não ia quebrar, né? Ia ser minha mão. Ó, vou tentar Mr. Bananinha, agora minúsculo. Não, vou tentar Mr. Bananinha, só que com T minúsculo. Não vai. Já sei, se tem o Coringa. Ah, não ia dar certo. Nossa, eu ia colocar bananinha. Bananinha. Acho que eu tinha escrevido mal. Não escrevi errado não. Misericórdia. É a misericórdia. Ah não, bugou de novo, Que tristeza, gente. Ah, falta 4 dias. Tá braba. Misericórdia. Não tenho fingir que sou. Já sei. Não. Não sei. Cadê esse cara? Observa a minha. Misericórdia, Senhor. Pô, você joga no que? PS4, PC? PC, né? Que você tinha mandado. Peraí. Ui. Moreira, dá meu celular. Vai pegar agora. Ah, mano. Queria jogar com você, irmão. Só que, como é Epic Games, não arruma essa merda, né? Não vai dar. Queria jogar com você, irmão. Só que, como é Epic Games, não arruma essa merda, né? Sim.
Tem que.
Tem. Vamos ver como que tá. Chegar mais. Olha, não se esquece de deixar o like, se inscrever, compartilhar e ativar o sininho para ajudar bastante o canal, beleza? Tá ali, lugar de viver direito.
Of the my wall now, I'm going at you. I will win the game with 16 plus eliminations, and there's nothing you can do about it. Him and Vinny broke everything, coming over not only sexual position, but a little bit of kind of turbulence between them. They're actually not even going to be doing after this competition, so this will be a last hurrah. But let's see what Zexu and Vinny have to say.
We got Vinny and Zexu over here. Very excited to see you guys. I know there's a lot of people really excited to see you guys. Both very well in duels and solo over the course of the year. How do you think that the competition today is going to compare to the rest of the competition? Scrims, whatever the case may be.
For sure, the competition is definitely going to be hard today. Probably the hardest competition yet, but I'm very confident for us to succeed today.
Awesome. We're the leaders, guys. Now, Zexu, you told us after qualifying for the last week's duels, preparing for a competition like this, especially at such a high caliber, there's got to be a lot of stress involved with that. Even physically preparing for today.
merda! Pô, pelo amor, tio, parece que os caras não sabem jogar. Eita, tá. Não dá de jogar, mano. Se quiser costinha, mano. Os caras não sabem jogar, daí tem que ficar indo na costa, né? Quebrei. E agora são que horas? São 2h03 ainda. Ah, não. De boa. Esse momento.
One in the week 8 qualifier where there wasn't an additional spot, and on top of that, their consistent placement for them that ultimate spot coming out of the region. Great opportunity to talk with them and what they had to say.
É o BTS?
저는 밍이라고 하고 이제 아시아에서 진출하였습니다. 저는 포항생하고 나서 아시아에서 성적을 내서 대체 선수로 뽑혀서 왔더니 이제 아시아에서 듀오 한 팀이 진출을 못해서 저희가 이제 좋은 기회를 얻게 되어서 이렇게 진출하게 되었어요. 온라인에서 상금을 받으면서 계속 경쟁하는
Pô, tem uns caras que jogam muito estranho. Tipo, coloca o dedo pro computador. No X, no quadrado, bolinha inteiro. Não sei como eles conseguem jogar assim.
I mean, I can only imagine what is going through their heads first.
Não consigo nem apertar o quadrado pra frente, imagina.
And then having one of the most consistently best placements, and being chosen as an alternate, and finding out who's going to be competing, having a chance to represent Asia and South Korea here, and known for playing aggressively, find a side of the zone, box them, get some shots towards the side of the zone. If they can get that position, we expect them to dominate it. They will make some ways, and that's the competition. Those are all the players. Those are the 100 best Fortnite players in the world, 50 best duos. And now there's a duo in particular. We talked about it. The loudest duo when they're announced. They want to be the loudest duo when all is said and done. We have Mitro and Mongo down on the floor. Jordan, what do they have to say?
We are all so excited to see these two play. Honestly, to hear their comments, one of my favorite things when I watch these guys play. Now, competing online and competing on the land is two very, very different things. So what is the land together?
Competing at land is definitely different. Personally, I like it more just because I like the environment. But I don't know, I just like land more.
Fair. You can't beat the energy in a stadium like this. A lot of people are really excited and stoked to be here, and especially to see you guys play. Can't wait.
This is
Thank
the
you
way.
so much, Jordan.
Way,
And now,
look,
just
this is
those
the way.
guys, they
Way.
sound excited, but that's it. Enough from us talking. The 50 best duos in the world on the stage, competing for their share of $50 ball. And I mean, 6 games away from winning $2 million to the top.
Just think about it. 6 games, and then we'll find out who is the best duo in the world. Hands down, no question about it, the best. 6 games to do that real soon.
Mano, não tem baú nesse modo aqui, não?
The pre-show is over. Enough from us up here. We'll be breaking down gameplay later. We're gonna toss it on inside to kick the show off. You guys have a good one.
Vai, Nick! Ó, pegou minha arma.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from my hometown, baby. New York City, where you at? Where you at? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. This is it, people. The moment that we've been waiting for. 10 weeks of competition leads to this. I'm your host, Golden Boy, and I couldn't be more pumped to be here because we're about to see the greatest Fortnite players in the world go up against
Vocês dois mesmo, né?
millions in prizes on the line. And most importantly, what's right behind me, the championship, the trophy, and the first ever Fortnite World Champion. We're gonna crown that today, and it's gonna be awesome. And I want to know if everyone here in the Arthur Ashe Stadium, are you hyped? Are you ready? You know what? Maybe I can't do the job. I think this will do some justice.
Vou deixar eles pegando.
Excited to get to the games, and we're going to do so in a little bit. The players are gearing up and getting ready to go. You know that each and every one of you inside of this stadium, you're just pumped. You had your opportunity to go out to the festival. You managed to meet up with your friends and enjoy some great times here in New York City. But obviously our players are here to win a world
Galera, eu não vou falar nada pra vocês escutar onde que eu tá.
Standing by with Jordan Fisher. Looking like they can contend to the top of the mountain.
Thank you, GB. You are a handsome man. Now, I'm going to be super honest and very forward right now when I say that I've got two of my favorite
Aquele cara ali, o Alien.
Fortnite now.
Eu acho que é ele, o gordinho. Ele ganhou a
And
última.
studying, we have Sean and Aiden. Aiden, one of the most
Ele matou o cara no ar, na verdade o cara morreu pra safe, né?
time and time again with
Aí, ó,
Sean
Aiden.
one of the most mechanically skilled and gifted players in all of Fortnite. Now, with this combination of one of you on a controller and one of you on mouse and keyboard, there's got to be some
Entendi nada ontem,
you guys
não.
can pull together. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, our synergy is great. Like you said, he's one of the best mechanical players. His tunnels are insane. Like it's just insane watching him play. And just me being an aggressive player, having good aim, we really combo together well. Hope we're gonna do good.
1000%. Now, Sean, you both competed in the Pro-Am yesterday, which was a lot of fun. We all know that was a very sweaty lobby. But your thought process, your strategy going into the day, tell me how that differs from yesterday and your performance there.
I think yesterday was like super fast paced. Usually I kills the place well. But today we're gonna go for end game, play super slow, and so we can kill end game.
Fantastic. Well, we're all so excited to see you guys. GB, what do you have for us?
Always a pleasure to hear from the Ghost.
Que isso, pega?
Go to the top, and they very well might do that. Now, I asked you guys earlier, I said, are you ready? So I'm going to ask you again, New York City. Are you ready? Oh, no, I got the earpiece up. New York City, this is my hometown, and I know we can make some noise. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready? The Fortnite World Cup Finals start now. Let's send it over to your passers, Courage and Ninja. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Everything on the line here today. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop. Well, guess what? I'm joined by a surprise guest appearance, Tyler Ninja Blevins. I am so excited for today's action. Ninja, the emotion here is insane.
You have no idea, man. These guys have been playing for months, practicing, doing nothing but thinking, eating, sleeping, breathing.
Oh, Ninja.
That's it, and it's all led to this. I know the nerves absolutely at an all-time.
I'm nervous right now.
I'm just casting. I'm not even playing. Meanwhile, they're making $15 million, but it's not your normal Fortnite rules we're going to be playing today. Let's take a look at the format, catch everyone up to speed. I know a lot of eyes will be on Fortnite competitive today. And Ninja, here's the format for points. So, this is duos. If you place the top 15 duos in this game, they earn 3 points. Top 10, they earn 5 points. Top 5, 7 points. And finally, the Victory Royale, 10 points. Now, those points get on the stat, meaning in a game, there's a max of 10 placement points. Also, 1 point per elimination. So, finding that good balance between elims and placements will be very key. The prize money breakdown in Ninja. You've been involved in competitive gaming for a long, long time. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. I mean, you're looking at first place, 3 million. I mean, heck, I've even settled for third at 1.8.
Settle for 1 point.
Settle. I'll settle. No, we've been playing. We both been competing for a long time, and I've been competing for almost 10 years. The prize pool's never even come close to this. This is a life-changing thing.
Absolutely mind-blowing numbers right there. Again, everyone who made it this far, $1,000 in their pocket. And if you want to jump on that prize, there are so many talented players here today for the cross.
Que merda, mano. Finalizaram.
On Twitter, use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Really, anywhere you can use hashtag. I know we both have our predictions.
Absolutely. You want to go first?
No. You go first. Who for you is your standout that you're looking to see if they can take it home today?
Dude, man, I mean, I gotta give it up to Mongol and Nitro. I think they're gonna definitely close it out. They've been, I really am just super interested to see how they play. I've been watching a lot of their World Cups after they've already qualified. Hands down, one of the most aggressive duos throughout the qualification. But are they gonna do that here? Are they gonna go for placement, or are they gonna still W key like they've always been doing?
Oh, bravo.
That's typically been their gameplay of choice. They're looking at it, Mongol and Nitro.
Olha,
You're on a road to see. Last time they played, I think they qualified. They're dropping the plate. So will that remain the same today? These early game battles, despite the difference will be so key. You go with a European duo. Yeah. I'm picking a European duo as well. Another young squad, Mr. Savage M and Benji Fishy. Dude, Mr. Savage M is cold-blooded. Every time I met him, I'm scared of him. And they're absolutely insane, as you can see right here on your screen. We'll get those pictures fixed and go for it either way.
These guys are two absolute tanks, and Ninja, you've watched all these guys. You're absolutely one of the best players in the world, but almost like these guys are the class of their own.
They are.
Olha a mochilinha jato, como que tá?
And I mean, literally watching Benji just slay out an entire lobby by himself in squads is, it's like it's art, man. You know what these guys do? It's art. So enjoy.
I know Mr. Savage having a public got like 40 plus eliminations in season 9, which is unheard of, all by himself, solo squads. There are so many ways to watch though this weekend. I'm just looking on my phone. Plus you guys tuned in. As you guys know, so many ways to watch. You got Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere where there's live streams. Also a new Fortnite.com/watch feature that you can go take a look at. You'll see some different individual feeds there that will be a crazy unique way to watch Fortnite competitive for the first time. I know everyone at home looking forward to seeing their top players perform this place. Now, this is I think I've ever seen for an esports event, and I know people flooding from the outside. I just can't wait to get it started.
Dude, this is literally what I've been waiting for. 3-4 months. Yeah. Best ultra best, all in the same line. Alright, in the qualifying matches on Sunday. Playing against, in a lobby, maybe like 4 or 5 of the teams who are actually here right now, but now this is going to be all of them in the same lobby. Every single battle is going to be the best players in the world fighting against one another. I'm excited to watch the early game when they're landing in their spot. I'm excited to watch the mid game during the rotations. I'm going to be taking notes. You guys should.
Yeah, also other things that note to take to bring up. We're going to be playing.
Yes, GG, mano. Toma, tio. Toma.
So, unlike normal matches, when you get an elimination, alright, you're going to with 50 health or 50 shield, depending on what you're missing. And that's also going to give you 1 point.
So easy, bro. Ganhamos, rapaz. Ganhamos, rapaz. Vamos jogar mais um.
They know that they're going to be contested. They know that, and they're not, if they're intelligent players, they're going to play exactly how they've been practicing the last 10 World Cup qualifiers. They're going to go exactly where they go. And, they're not going to care who it's going to be. Now, me, honestly, I'd like to say that that's how I play, but dude, in a situation like this, I think that if I saw someone contesting my job, I'd definitely prefer and try to go somewhere else. Yeah. Vai. Confia. Vai. Getting over that, that's going to be a huge mental obstacle, right? You get knocked
Vai, eu tenho uma lendária, né? Que eu já vou cair lá. Eu tô bem aí. Não, eu vou lá. Sai fora, mano. Eu tô aqui no bairro, né? Depois você.
Eagerly wanted to talk about this map. We have what the first map is going to be in front of us, but again, guys, there's so many exciting things going on.
Isso vai ser nem esse brinquedo. O lado vermelho rosa, o outro lado
a little bit of it yesterday, but again, made by Stray Kite. It's a fun little, hide and go seek game almost, Ninja.
Prop hunt is the greatest thing that Fortnite has created from creative. It is amazing. It is hilarious. I mean, we were literally getting angry and we're also just laughing hysterically right when we're about to, make it into the incinerator and get our points. It's just so fun. I mean, you could be in toilet. You want to be anything. You want to be a pink flamingo, a bus. Go for it. Just go for it.
Yeah, we've had some fun games of Prop Hunt that we played right now. Live in the gameplay for free, Prop Hunt. A little bit different than the competitive settings. Obviously, Arena is talked about this. top
Hoje
100 to be exact. The double qualified players, right? You can't even put like your head just how insane those numbers are.
I think it's just important to show and let everyone know that, man, that's change the game. You definitely qualify online. It just allows so many kids
Queima.
to be here today. I'm just excited to watch these kids dominate in these freaking 4 hours, 6 hours. I'm ready to stay here all night.
Hey, I'm down to stay here all night.
Eu dou um tiro com essa e depois
Talk about LAN events, right? You have so much competitive
Tá,
experience. So many
tu.
different games and genres. The one thing that stands out to me, though, it will never feel the exact same as it does.
Misericórdia. Pera aí, mano, deixa eu ver as circunstâncias.
What I always tell people when they're saying, hey, did you go to a tournament? Any advice, right? It's to do exactly what you do at home, right? If you wear socks and no shoes at home, that's what you're gonna do. If you don't wear any socks at all, or you wear sandals, you wear that. If you wear nothing but sweats and PJs when you're gaming and practicing, that's exactly what you should be wearing right now when you're competing, right? Don't try to change anything up. Drink what you normally drink before the games, water, energy drinks, whatever the case may be, or eat what you're gonna eat. Do not change anything up. It's very important to get in that mental state of what you do and how you're practicing the entire time at home.
I've even heard as far as like changing take it like it really is now. Again, we talked about $1 million on the line for the finals today and tomorrow, but there's already $3 million in prize money given away this weekend. That happened yesterday.
Ah, não, nem ferrando. Olha onde tá a merda da safe. Mano, não, se o Nick não ganhar, vou chorar. Se o Knicks não ganhar, eu vou torcer pro... Ah, tanto faz, se os brasileiros ganhar. Tô torcendo pros brasileiros, filho. Look at it. Eu pensei que esse cara, ele pareceu... Não, tipo, o sinal que ele fazia, que era... Ele parecia com o caneta. Nossa, ontem o do criativo foi da hora. Eu não sei quem tinha ganhado, mas só sei que quando o time líder lá do Kick Bandeira ficou em último, mano. Ele o time líder. Que o de ontem foi Death Run também. Ah, mano, não dá, tio. Merda, ferro. Eita, olha o moleque. Lag é uma merda. Porque o lag só trava. O lag é uma merda. O lag só trava. Nossa, mano, vocês têm que assistir Máscara, mano. É muito da hora esse filme, só que o cara é feio pra caramba. Não, te juro, não.
We got fourth place, but the crew that I picked out, man, Cal, Taco, a good bunch of kids.
Tô indo no time, tô indo no time.
Together as a unit, pulled in 300.
Não precisa temer, não, porque eu cheguei agora. O time não precisa temer, porque eu sei onde eu cheguei agora.
His original run that he made yesterday. What was the favorite? Was it kind of the top 100
Poxa, mano.
You get a massive content creation squad and just go, it'd be the most fun. There's nothing greater when you're a little walking around, like trying to make it in.
It's all fun and games here. Obviously, the theme of this weekend. Things going on. Redemption. Everyone here. Never a ticket, so many things to look back on and remember these moments. For a lot of people here, whether they're players, such a legendary, iconic place to have this major event. You see again the crowd continues to build on in, just getting some final things set up for the games. You can get a little more for you, but trust me, we're all eagerly awaiting the start as well. So many organizations represented throughout the weekend, and I have just received the word that we want. The game is ready to go.
The first big boy, man. Who's it gonna be, guys? All right, you got to scream out your favorite duos right now, man. Make some noise.
Who do you think's gonna win today? Scream it, make it. I want to hear. Oh, it's gibberish. None of it makes sense.
I think I hear Mongrel, Mitro.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Fortnite World Cup Finals duo competition begins right now.
Jesus, this is gonna be intense. I mean, there's nothing more nerve-wracking than the initial launch. Off the bus, man, you're flying. Someone's gonna die. Someone's gonna be eliminated. Who's gonna be the first one? Yep. You don't want to be the first one knocked out in the world. I mean, literally, I knocked
Vocês nascem já, bate o pé, nem um dia.
That means you can't live that down. I don't want to be the first person knocking this.
No, for sure. And now we immediately hop on board with my pick. The dominate today, Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage, and they're heading right towards Happy Hamlet. Plays in called home so many times. This is contested. Flying on into here.
Mano, acho que eu for. Acho que se eu for um squad sozinho,
with
não
that
tem
revolver, but
diferença.
area is contested. You see, they're kind of split from each other right now. Sounds like it's protected.
Vai. Ah, não, não é possível. Eu acabei de curar. Não, não, deixa ele pra trás. Deixa.
The zone has been revealed that it is a northern side zone, so anyone...
Galera, agora eu vou dar uma saidinha, beleza? Pra vocês, porque fica assistindo aí World Cup, beleza? Eu também vou assistir, mas eu não vou responder, beleza?
And look at the advantage that you now have. Tetra hasn't had any shields, but because 2 eliminations come on through, he gets both. That's 50 shield per elim, putting him at max HP, and now he can completely change how he takes this fight. It's not like the normal games where you're still stuck at 100 health and you might second guess what you want to do. You might play a little more passively. No, because of those early elims, they now have Dusty Divot to themselves. They pushed out the Asian duo, pushing towards that top Dusty Divot side of XXM and Mend, and now they're sitting pretty. Divot all to themselves. They've got metal galore here, as well as wood. The one material that really be lacking is going to be stone.
Yeah, definitely going to be lacking stone. They can get a 500 metal, which is going to be their most valuable asset here, Laney and Dusty. What I'm just interested to see is, they have no rotation items when you're looking over there, so hopefully they find something that's going to help them rotate later. There are no balls that spawn in Dusty, so no ballers. It's going to be very difficult to make the late game if you guys don't have some sort of crazy rotation.
Here's another fight going on towards Fatal Fields, and with how little materials there are, you got to think these players down low who are already just on light HP are in a tough spot, and there it is. Scarlet and his duo, Bell, get the quick elimination onto Brush. That's going to push back Brush's duo into Fatal Fields and try to hide for a brief moment. Another rough start right there. So much stone in Fatal Fields. I think Fatal Fields is a underrated landing spot.
I think you can get everything at Fatal Fields. You definitely get wood and brick very quickly, and then there's definitely some metal that you can gather around. You know, there's a bunch of cars and things like that. Some crackers there in the sticks. But listen, man, I'm really curious as to why they're not pushing Sizz.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword too, because yes, Sizz is by himself, but we've all experienced how easily you can hide in that brush there in the cornfields. And Sizz Lucky, these top players who land Fatal Fields know how to actually navigate the loot in the corn without breaking the corn. So
I need to break the corn every time.
Right, I'm not good enough to know, but there's a certain path you can go on, and Sizz Lucky will actually be able to go back and pick up Rush's cards. So this is key.
Think you should go
Reboot Vans, remember when you get brought back, you only have 100 HP and a common pistol. That would bring a lot of attention over. If you are Scarlet and Bell, are you sprint back over that fight? I think so. Now across the map, though, an engagement going out between KBB, Yuang, and their duo up against Vinny and Zexro, and there's the knock right there, Ninja.
Drum shotgun's very powerful. It's definitely underrated. You can get inside somebody's one-by-one right there. I mean, there's another knock with the drum shotgun. Just absolutely wreaking havoc. Yuang trying to take this wall. I think his teammate is not going to be able to stay alive, so it's going to be Zex and Yu. He's got the shield advantage. All he has to do is play this patient. I'm going to be pretty sure that these guys don't have that many materials, so just needs to spray it out and hopefully find a chance to take it down, but he's healing up.
Yeah, Zexro has minis as well as big shields, so we'll be able to get back to full shield. And Yuang now in a tough spot. Do I try to go?
Zex definitely can interrupt this now. He took too long to start home with the res, but it looks like he's just going to be going for the reloads, taking his time, and he might be dipping out, maybe trying to... He's definitely staying aggressive, but he's going to get the revive off, and now it's 2-on-1 again.
Zexro staying confident, though. Knowing right now still at over 150 HP. The teammate has to be at 30 health. The wall comes through, trying to spray it, and it's not going to happen. And you see Zexro right there, hands right to his head. Some solid damage done, but Yuang dropped down to 59 HP. But with that elimination, we'll bump back up to over 100. Very, very close right there, Ninja, with the drum shotgun.
Very important is checking out the storm right now. A lot of these players, there's a lot. You guys can't see the screen, but there are plenty of people who are outside. They're going to have to start their rotation. And this is actually where a lot of very talented players with their aim can clean up a lot of kills. This is actually my teammate and I's reverse. Our strategy was to try to get in those spots where people who are going to be flying throughout the sky, using a lot of the slipstreams, and just taking advantage of, your incredible accuracy.
A little update, too, on Sizz Lucky. They did get the reboot in Fatal, so they're both back in play. Look at how slow this lobby is going, folks. 92 players left, and a definite fan favorite here. Nate Hill and Funk of FaZe Clan currently set on up near Lazy Lagoon. And Ninja, this is your landing spot that you went to with your duo reverse. What are maybe some little tips and tricks for players at home who like to land here?
Yeah, all right, so there's, if you go on the boat, on the ship, every single one of the masts is like worth 200 wood. So you definitely want to go for those and easily get max wood in arena in probably less than 10 seconds. And also there are some metal anchors in town that you can get for about 300 metal, which is, like the most valuable material that you can get. I mean, 91 players. I mean, have we talked about Storm Surge? I mean,
we haven't yet. I was going to let that be a bridge when we cross it, but
because 91 people left. I mean, how soon is it going to be?
We're going to have Storm Surge in every game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like, this is going to be nuts. If you guys don't know what Storm Surge is, basically the team that has done the least amount of damage is going to start taking damage until they get above the damage threshold.
Yes, and it tells the players on their screen what the damage threshold is. If you're used to playing at home, you probably have never experienced Storm Surge in a normal game, but it is very common in competitive because everyone wants to last until late game, earn those extra points, and wind up getting those placement points to come on through. Watching Letwick and Flexi right now, it's so scrappy, Ninja. It's not your normal game where you get to loot up and freely grab everything you want. Here, I mean, look at the inventory. A common heavy assault rifle, 2 heavy bullets.
Yeah, I mean, people are not going to be able to loot. They're not going to be able to loot normally. I mean, you have every single spot is definitely going to be contested or have talented players who are surrounding you. You got to be constantly worried about getting sniped from the side. All it takes is 2 seconds of being caught off guard, and you can get dinked twice with an infantry rifle, and boom, there goes 160 health, man, just like that.
89 players left now in the lobby as Twiz and Cover H, the duo, do get cut down. 45 duos remaining. The second zone has just been revealed, and again, Storm Surge will begin after that. I absolutely think it's going to happen. That will be for 70-plus players. So You keep that in mind as this goes on. Players who haven't really done any damage will know that they're going to be at a point where their hand is kind of be forced. They're going to have to put on a little bit of aggression. You're going to see the game pick up just a little bit here. There's Snappy and Red Rush already in the next zone. They're more than happy to just farm up this metal structure and claim it as their own.
They're actually very centralized as well.
Yep.
I mean, a really great strategy that you're going to see a lot of people going to be using throughout this weekend in solos and in duos is to just try to get in the dead center of the second zone and honestly just kind of pray that the circle is going to continue to rotate in your favor. I mean, I'm still looking at a lot of these guys' inventories. One guy just gets knocked in front of him. Like, going to try to save his teammate. It's not going to happen. But there's not a lot of rotation items. I haven't seen a lot of shockwave grenades. I haven't seen a lot of shadow bombs. I don't see any launch pads in anyone's inventory.
Yeah.
It's going to be such a, like, the rotations late game are going to be nuts. People are going to get lasered out of the sky.
And Letwick now all by himself in a 1 versus 2 as his teammate did go down. You see Parpy and Volks still quite healthy between the two of them. Over 140 HP for both of them. Parpy still playing the slow ground, trying to spray out the opponent. And look at the material count for Volks, 135 total builds. It does look like Letwick just kind of ran away, but I don't believe Letwick was able to grab his teammate's reboot card. So will basically be by himself for the rest of this game.
You know, it's going to be almost impossible to perform alone when your teammate is knocked. And there's the Storm Surge warning. These guys are 106 above it. You guys can see that, which means that there's somebody who has 106 damage less than them that is currently below the threshold, and they are going to need to hit some people, deal some damage. And that's actually the beauty of Storm Surge, right? You don't necessarily only want people kind of just lingering around in their 1-by-1s, praying that the circle moves to them. You're gonna see some fights that are gonna be forced to break out because players need to get above that or they're gonna die. They're not gonna be able to make it.
Now moving towards the Dusty Divot Diner. You see Clicks and Skeptic. Yeah, the very young duo from NA East, and you just said yourself, I didn't even know you could farm this.
I didn't even know you could get down there.
This is the beauty of it, right? These are the top players in the world showing off the little things that they know that really no one else can pick up on. Many teams already stacking here as there's so many materials to be farmed up. And for a lot of players, Ninja, once they get maxed, they don't just stop there. They keep farming to have an excess for more if they need to expend a lot of materials quickly. Yes. On the bottom right of your screen, you see a fight going down in Salty Springs. A lot of grenades being thrown right there. That's going to be Serpent and Hype.
Serpent and Hype in a pretty decent spot. You're seeing, if you guys can look on the mini-map that we're staring at, every single team is now in the safe zone. Everyone is safe in the next circle. It is moving in. Double heavy sniper is in play. For those of you guys who do not know, a heavy sniper will take out a metal wall. It'll take out pretty much anything. It does 1,500 damage to structures. So if you have two teammates who have double heavy snipers, they can see a team, line up a shot of somebody hiding in a 1-by-1 and be able to take them out.
And that changes the game completely. Once you hear double heavy, you can no longer sit still ever. Or if you know where they're at, you have to make sure you have at least 2 walls of cover on that side to protect you from the inevitable double snipe. And when we say double snipe, it's as far as 1, 2, 3, shoot. And they both fire at the same time and catch you off guard.
There's absolutely 0 time to react. And one thing you guys we were talking about are the rotation items. We got 6 shadows for this guy, and they have a baller, so they're sitting pretty. I think these guys are in a great spot.
Absolutely. And you see the zone did just update towards the northern side of this current storm. Storm Surge is now in play, so players beginning to drop. 80 players in total in this game. They will just rotate on out of here. Hype and Serpent don't want the fight. And that's Jay now quite weak. With Storm Surge beginning to tick in. Quentin and Lanouf now having to push a fight as Storm Surge is affecting them as well. And you see it just kind of smites them down from the heavens, and there they go. Getting dropped by Storm Surge. Unfortunate for them, but again, with not enough damage done, they do fall below that threshold.
Jeez, man, Storm Surge really does just force people into some pretty tricky situations. But again, man, it just goes to show a lot of aggressiveness is going to pay off for teams, man. You don't want to be put in that situation where, you know, you have to desperate and push. Maybe a duo that's better than you in combat. You know what I mean? And Airwax and Nikov just...
That's a replay.
Was that a replay? They just went down.
Airwax and Nikov are winners. Well, Airwax at least are back-to-back winner of the Pro-Am. Does go down. Airwax double qualified as well. Tough first game for them as they do go out quite early on. 71 players left in this game. 38 duos. Again, it's a slow crawl as everyone begins to drop. Have you ever seen anything like this in competitive Fortnite?
No, I think that the only time that we saw numbers like this were when the circles they didn't really chunk that much, and they were more centralized in the beginning of competitive. So really no one had to rotate that much and no one had to fight. So now that these circles are really just kind of moving around the map, you can't really predict them. I mean, you're getting these players who have, again, the great aim, and they're just beaming people who are focusing on trying to rotate into the circle. Now look, there's so many people coming from the south right now. And it's just free kills if you guys are in a top position with solid aim, man. You're going to Texture right now, already getting beamed. He's spamming the spacebar, trying to make it as difficult as possible to hit. He sees a lot of, look at it, already trying to figure out right now, where's he going to land? Look at all these people who are already boxed up. They're already creating these tunnels. More shots coming down. And he's going to be able to make it. 8 grenades. So that's going to be, I mean, if he can get in a position where some players are already getting focused on the outside, 8 grenades, he might be able to clean up those kills too.
Yep, that's right there. They do box up in time. Did take some shield damage, but thankfully they have some minis to replenish that in just a few brief moments, as there's Eclipse now using them. He's got his teammate right next door as well. Medkit, so they're going to pop that too. Every little bit of HP matters. Saving the campfire for the late game, it appears.
Definitely got to save the campfire.
In the elimination feed right there. Here's a look at Mongrel earlier with his duo, Mitro. They're set up currently in this zone. 68 players left.
Love watching this guy play, man. I'm serious. I mean, here's, you just check his inventory. Only got 2 guns right now, which is infantry rifle and a combat shotgun. So he has no spray guns. All right, spray guns are, you know, anything to an SMG, tactical assault rifle, SCAR, anything like that. You know, you've got to have a gun that can shoot pretty quickly to kill players and hit players through their 1-bys. You know, very difficult. Look at that healing too, though. Yeah. 5 slurps, 2 slurps. 5 chug splashes.
And they already have a slurp ticking. This is insane.
They're super close to the zone as well. They don't have to move too far.
Yep, and material-wise, look at that, 135 total builds. They're in a fantastic position to make some noise in game number 1. We'll definitely keep up to date with them. The slipstream slowly inching towards where it begins to shut down Ninja, but with so many slipstreams still available in this current zone, a lot of players are going to use that to rotate on in freely without using launch pads or the shadow bombs. There's your whole map right there, the eastern side of the zone. None of these players really going to be into play. They're going to have to inch a little bit more towards Loot Lake if they want to be safe.
Some of the best, I mean, look at, these are the best players in the world, and look how close they are to one another, man. I'm so excited when they actually have to force into these fights. The Storm's going to start pushing them. Look how, I'm sorry, man, I just can't, man. You guys notice also, Stinks, man, these players are so talented. It's going to be so hard to spray through their walls and actually deal damage to them. Yep. So you need things like grenades, like Stinks, right? Little fart bombs is what I like to call them, to force people out of their 1-by-1s and try to shoot them as they're rotating away and trying to build new 1-by-1s to dodge the Stinks.
You see the Stinks right now going down on Mongrel, and Mongrel gets immediately ripped in 2 as it seemed like the lobby began to focus him right there. His duo still alive
with good rotation, luckily.
Definitely has a bunch to, you know, to be able to play with. The next Storm Surge has begun to kick on in. Mitro, 12 damage below, will have to begin to put shots down range. The zone pushing as well. So in this position, with the zone at their back, Mitro's goal, spray at players who have to push from the zone. They have one way they can go. They can't afford to take storm damage. They've got to push right out of it. Mitro knows that. Now begins the fire. Dubs just below as well. One of the players who qualified multiple times through solos and then once in duos.
They also have some great rotation. 2 ballers still intact. And here's the thing that you just mentioned, all these players who are going to be rotating in, being forced to rotate in, everyone knows that.
Very little ammo, though. Look, these are the last 9 assault rifle shots in Dubs' inventory. It is getting scrappy, folks. And there's the split. Still, though, only 80, meaning combined between the 2, they really only have about 150 shots to work with. The zone still pushing. 61 players left. Reminder, folks, this is game number 1 of 6 today in the duos competition. Dubs does go down as a player got that back wall. He wasn't quite ready for it. Mega frantically backing on up, trying to create some space. Will he be able to go?
He's going to be able to pop that slurp. He's got
the Storm Surge on.
He's trying to be aggressive. Oh, he's still below, right? He's going to need to be aggressive. He won't even have time to revive his teammate. His teammate got finished, actually, so he's got all the shields in the world. He can get back up to full health. Storm Surge is still ripping him apart. That slurp is barely keeping him alive.
Hitting him for 25 damage every time it winds up ticking. There it is again, dropping on in. Mega's hand is forced. Some big damage right there, still below. As players are continuing to drop all around, but Mega doing a solid job of keeping himself alive right now through the Storm Surge. Fantastic composure. Again, one of the young players on this stage looking to try to secure the title of Fortnite World Champion. No more Dubs. The duo
Still
okay,
down,
so now
he's
above.
finally above.
Yep.
Finally above, and guess what? The most important thing to realize, guys, look at that rotation. Yes, he's alone. Yes, his teammate's down. But he has an incredible kit to not only make it to late game, but maybe even clutch this win out.
He dropped
the shotgun.
Okay, there you go.
Got the combat shotgun, one of the greatest shotguns to have late game. Does incredible damage, long range and close range. And all the guys, the circle just rotated now into the storm. Massive amounts of distance needs to be covered.
This
and
storm surge is insane. It's still going on.
Finally taken out. 52 players left. And this is where things are about to get serious, guys.
Thomas drops some ammo right there for his teammate, Inclusia. And you see Thomas, that epic infantry rifle, one of your favorite weapons, Ninja. What is so good about that assault rifle?
It 100% rewards pinpoint accurate players, right? There's no bloom necessary. Your marker, your aim is right on their head. Boom. You're going to get that headshot. You're going to get 80 points of damage. And there's now the up in the Epic have 10 shots instead of 8. So, I mean, it just packs a punch, man. It can really catch players off guard, and that's exactly what you're going to need when you're playing against these top players who will literally build and protect themselves when they get shot once.
Folks, there are 45 players left in this very, very small zone. We are now on our 6th storm. You see it's about to begin to move, and players will frantically have to go across the map. Zayt and Saf right now discussing exactly what they should drop, pulling up their map, looking exactly where they have to go. 44 left in this one.
We already got people using shockwave grenades, guys. This is a very far rotation for the second movement circle, so this is actually going to move very quickly. These people are going to potentially get stuck on their launch pads because there's so much frequent building. It's going to be nuts. And who's going to try to take the high ground? Because after this first circle goes, this is where people start to only try to use the high ground.
And we know high ground is everything in competitive Fortnite late game. Everyone frantically moving away from the common enemy of everyone, which is that storm circle. Macwood taking zone damage. Daedra as well. King slowly bouncing on through with the Shadow Bomb. And does land. Yes, but taking no storm damage, just playing right on the edge of it. Yeah, right on the edge of the zone right now. Will just stay boxed up for a brief moment. As now there's 36 players remaining, stomping the elimination feed. Arkram now goes down as well. You can see the elimination feed on the top left to keep track of your favorite players. There's so much is going on. This is what tunneling is. When you hear players mention tunneling, this is it right here. You move with the zone, you tunnel your way in, give yourself cover, but not a lot of materials left. Only 22 builds, and this zone is stacked. But look who's on the high ground. It's Mr. Savage and Benji Fishing.
That would be your 2 picks, so good for you. All right, I have to owe you a bet there, man. Watch that. All right. Mongo, unfortunately, do we still have Mitro's still alive? I mean, listen, people are dying left and right, being eliminated. More Savage just used another shockwave grenade. He already had high ground, though. The question is, are people going to try to take it? You know that if you really want the chance to win this, you're going to have to try to take the high ground off him or have a rocket launcher to just take him out of it.
He's just so weakened. Mr. Savage just looks up and beams the player out of the air. It's all Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage in the elimination feed right now. 24 players left in this one. But 20 duos. There's almost no duos remaining, Ninja.
Right, it's all solos, and this is kind of what's going to happen, man.
Mr. Savage goes down.
It's up to Benji, and listen, Benji's been in this position before. We know he can handle it. Nitro's still in the game as well. I just saw him. He looks incredibly healthy, but now taking some storm damage. Benji's just going to try. Look at the materials. Not a lot left. They're only using their shadows. I think he has 1 build left.
Yep.
That's it. That's all he has.
He's got 10 total builds.
10 total builds.
He's just trying to outlast as many players as possible. Remember these placement points. We've made it into our top 10 duos. Now into our top 8. Zayt and Saf now. Zayt and Saf now on the high ground.
This game.
One of the few, the only duo left. This has a Zayt and Saf win written all over it. Mitro, Mongrel's duo, was all by himself from very early on. Still alive in this one. 40R Storm now getting beamed. Can the North American duo of Zayt and Saf close this out? Raining down fire from up top. You see the frantic builds coming in. Benji Fishy goes down. Mega, Mitro, and Scarlet on the low ground. Shots still coming on in. Zayt and Saf just sitting pretty.
Mitro just got a double, I think.
Mitro
5 limbs.
Tries to get it done. Not enough. Zayt and Saf, 2 versus 1. Will they take game number 1? Yes, they will.
Zayt and Saf had the high ground, and they used it the entire game. Rain fire from above. We're able to make up 5 limbs plus 10 placement points. That's going to be 15 points. Game 1.
Talk about a monster game number 1. You saw the immediate reaction. They know how key that was. and I've watched so many games of competitive Fortnite, Ninja. They were the only duo left with still like 18 players remaining. When they get the high ground like that, they send one player down to get close. Scarlet was already weak, and there's just no shot. In the end, the veteran players of Zate and Saf take game number 1. And you know, Ninja, that was a big topic of conversation. Players with LAN experience, players who've been around the Fortnite competitive scene at these major events for a long time. Will they let the nerves get to them? Guess what? The answer is no. Zate and Saf take game number 1.
Kept their composure. It was absolutely incredible to watch, man. And seriously, these guys have been absolutely dominant in the World Cup qualifiers online. And it's only fair that they continue to show their dominance here at the actual World Cup stage.
Brilliant performance. You know that their game plan is always last as long as possible.
Absolutely.
But the fact that they made it through those storm surges, even with them not getting very aggressive, they had 0 elims down to those final few moments. Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy, we have to talk about them for a second as well. The European young duo. They were on the high ground. It was looking good, Ninja, but so many players focusing them, the shockwave grenades as well, and they had no healing left.
It's unfortunate, man. We have a group full of these players who are literally the best in the world. They know exactly how to win, right? So if they don't have the high ground, they know that whenever there is a moment that they have to shoot the high ground out with rockets, shockwave grenades. I think that's actually what happened. I think someone shockwaved up and knocked them off the high ground.
Yep.
But when you have shield like Zate and Naftate at the end there, and that high ground, I mean, it's over, man.
What a sigh of relief
Incredible,
for those two.
Incredible first game. And we're only just getting started.
We're only just getting started. Remember, 6 games being played today in the duos competition, in which $15 million will be rewarded. Tomorrow, we do it all over again, except with solos. So you want to stay glued to the streams here for the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Get involved in the conversation. Send to Ninja and I your thoughts after game number 1. Who surprised you? What are you looking forward to in games 2 through 6? For me, other things I noticed, man, you've got to be on your A game. When it comes down to taking note of where you are with the storm surge, those were longer storm surges that have lasted than I've ever seen before.
I've honestly never seen Storm Surge affect the game so much.
Yep.
Because here we are having 80 people left after the second circle. So, you know what I mean? Like, and these guys, they're not going to let you hit them. You know what I mean? And if you want to put shots on these guys, it's going to be when they're flying in the air rotating, which you also expose yourself to a sniper shot, you know.
Absolutely.
High risk, high reward, man, right?
It's,
let's see how these guys change. I wonder if the guys who did get hurt a lot by the Storm Surge, are they going to make changes in the second game? Are they going to be a little bit more aggressive and trying to deal some damage as they rotate? That's what I want to know.
That's a great way to think of it. I know there were so many people that want to give their thoughts on these games, but over at Unreal Island, we've got our very own Sundown with his thoughts on Game 1.
Thank you so much, Courage and Ninja. And the first match of the duos competition is over, and the Victor Royale's experience wins out. We talked about Energy Zate and Ghost Saf and how they've been playing so long together, and that endgame was a prime example of textbook Zate and Saf. We're going to re-roll it one more time, and we're going to break down kind of how they were able to keep the control. Now, pay attention right away. You can see on the backside, Saf has one angle while Zate is going forward, and they're moving back over the tarps they've already established, but the angles they take make sure they're covering everything. They hear the shots below, they're putting the fire down towards them, and Scarlet is able to pick up Mitro, but doesn't have enough to get out. Zate and Saf, 5 eliminations, Victory Royale, 15 points, showing that their competitive experience, their experience on stage and at major LAN events is winning out right now. They say nerves, what nerves? We might as well be playing at home on our own stations because they are just that good. Match 1 is over. Time to get back over the stage for match 2. Ninja and Courage, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sundown. Great stuff as always there from Unreal Island outside of the venue, enjoying the event themselves. But again, game number 1 in the books. Obviously, so many updates to see exactly where we stack up. In the end, those final moments can be so hectic. So before we hop into game 2, we will have a standings update for you all at home. Who do you think's up top of it right now? Well, guess what? It's Saf and Zate, but...
And Benji, Mr. Savage, man. Just incredibly clutch solo moves and plays.
Both of our predictions.
Both of our predictions. And they're still up there. Guess what? Imagine when they're healthy and when they actually get some good rotation items. I'd love to see how they're going to play in the late game, man.
Placement points so key. You did a great job pointing out Mitro at the end. Not only does he stay alive, not only does he perfectly use his materials and his movement items, but he somehow finds 5 more limbs putting his team from probably an abysmal game 1 to top 3 in our leaderboards. Again, here are your standings from game
Eu
number
quero
1.
interromper pouquinho o negócio aqui, mas eu quero avisar que eu não vou mais gravar live, tá? Vai ser só World Cup, eu não vou falar mais nada, beleza, mano? Tá? Fica aí com a World Cup, tá? Porque eles estão frisando, eu acho que agora. Valeu, falou e eu fui!
Fortnite World Cup Duo Finals is underway.
Again, I'm just going to keep saying it, the most nerve-wracking part of any competition, but definitely Fortnite for me, is the second you jump out of that bus.
Yep.
Right? Once you hit the ground, once these players hit the ground, they're going to definitely have hopefully less nerves, going to get back into the flow, back into the farming mentality. And man, I'm looking at these llamas on my screen, I'm just hoping that they find them. There's nothing greater than finding the new upgraded llamas at 350 mats.
Dude, they're insane. And they're everywhere. And look, wait, can we look at the map? Look at the north side. You've got 3 llamas in a very small area.
Llamas.
And many players have gotten better at spotting llamas from very, very far away.
I mean, the one thing I tell, I was telling my teammate Malachi, I was like, listen, man, sometimes you just actually have to tell yourself, hey, we should probably look for llamas as we're flying in, because usually you're looking for players who's going to be landing next to you. But if you actually keep an eye out for that adorable pink, purple, and blue llama,
and there's one.
I mean, look, you're just going to get rewarded with shield, rotation. There's shadow bomb storm, campfires, minis. I mean, these are incredibly valuable.
And remember, materials get capped at 500 of each type. So when you get 350, it's done its job for you. You can spend much less time looting and, farming, and much more time looting. And look at Zate perfectly using the Shadow Bomb Ninja. For players at home who are wondering how he just used it for way more than the 6 seconds it actually lets you use it for, explain a little bit of staying on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, all you have to do is just continue that jump animation. That's going to trigger the double jump. And as long as you don't touch any solid ground, you're going to be able to continue to double bounce back and forth, man. It's an incredible use of the Shadow Bombs, and you're probably going to see a lot of players do something like that in the late game off of other people's builds, and which is way more difficult to do that off a mountain, by the way.
For sure, as we now take a look at the storm is landing side of the map, and this storm is very far. Great point to bring up there. We can see on our side, the zone right now basically gets cut off at Dusty Divot and Neo Tilted, and the rest of the north side of the map are in play. So everyone near the move, and you see in the elimination feed very early on, Elevate does get cut down. So a tough start for the duo from 100 Thieves right there, as you've got to wonder if Arkram's still alive. Either way, though, Daedra and M11Z
looks like they have players
down in Loot Lake. In Loot Lake. Lucky Landing
wants to farm up. Lucky Landing is not really a 4-person landing. When more than two people land here, one of them is going to be leaving a little bit handicapped. And Yuang in a fight right now, popping that last big shield, so all of his damage that he will take from now on will be permanent unless he gets an elimination and gets.
Look at how good these stink grenades are right now. Scram and Mexi have lost so much HP off the start of this one, just from getting ticks. The spray does come on through. A third party, though, beginning to shoot down on a Yuang. So another player putting their attention towards this fight.
Trying to line a side
at Snobby, but KBB does go down. It's now Yuang all by himself, and no materials left, Ninja.
He can't even take a wall.
They're really, this is an abysmal position to be in. Yuang knows that. Trying to fall back to his teammate to maybe sneak a revive, but I just don't see.
A lot of these players really are kind of hesitant. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily want to push. There is a third party now. They don't have a lot of shield.
Are they going to
get
off
the right play?
They're going to push forward.
Yuang no shield, and he's going to get the double. He's going to get the double and the revive on KBB. And there was some delicious shockwave grenades that just slid down the ramp.
Yuang takes them down. The 4 builds left. I believe there was some help. The shots that came in from that third team getting nearby, which weakened them at first. Yuang gets the cleanup on the last one right there. What a swing for the duo. Shot does come in onto Keys, though, as another fight going down just outside the desert side of the map. Keys and Slacks up against 2.
Running out of materials already, and guess what? These guys are at the farthest point of the storm.
Yep.
So this is not, they can't afford this fight, right? The longer this takes, they're not going to be able to get materials. They're burning all the materials in this fight right now. So they're definitely going to need these lifts to make up for it.
That was
and he took the knock on Landjock.
And Landjock and Punisher went down early last game as well, and it looks like Landjock will suffer the same fate here.
upgraded combat shotgun. You know he's going to take that. Punisher trying to make some plays here. Still, now it is a 2-on-1 situation. Just need to play the numbers advantage. And again, Storm is about to start moving, so they're going to have to make some plays sooner rather than later.
No ammunition. Very few build. No shield. This spells disaster, and Punisher goes down, and there's the frustration in the player camera right there. Slacks and keys. 2 quick eliminations.